From Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 10.
The valley is covered in snow, and now, thanks to the rain we saw today, ice too. It's coating the roadways in the region and areas where people are still cleaning up from the snowstorm last weekend. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly has more on these slick conditions and why you should be using extreme caution. She joins us live just off of 13th Avenue South in Fargo with more. Katie?
Andrea, that's right. After the massive amounts of snow that we saw over the weekend, people went to work clearing their roads, their sidewalks, their driveways, and that's what created these massive piles of snow all over town on the sides of our roads. This one stands about as tall as me, if not taller, and I'm 5 feet 9 inches tall. The trouble with these piles of snow is they can be difficult to see around. One moment you see me, and the very next you can't see people or other vehicles on the other sides of these massive piles of snow. And something else to keep in mind, Carl Ben Middle School is right across the street from me, and I'm going to show you some videos so you can see it a little bit better that I shot earlier today. As these kids head back to school, it's important to take extra precautions, making sure you're looking for other vehicles and for kids who might be walking their way to school tomorrow. With all this ice and snow, it's important to slow down. Make sure you're staying alert and making sure that everyone stays safe this new year. For now, reporting live in Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
All right, Katie, thank you for that live report. If there is a blind spot that you're especially concerned about, give Fargo Public Works a call. They said they'll address the problem area. Slick roads, as we mentioned, gave many drivers in the valley a tough time today in vehicles both big and small. A West Fargo woman captured this video on Cheyenne Street and 32nd Avenue South this morning. A plow truck nearly sliding into two stopped cars. Luckily, everyone drove away unharmed. But with temperatures dropping throughout the night and school starting back up tomorrow, Teresa Bush says the morning commute is a concern.
You know, is it going to be clear enough and all those beginning drivers, you know, trying to get to school while we're trying to get to school?
We asked officials around the valley how many accidents they've responded to because of the icy roads. We're waiting to hear back. As we start 2020, it looks like gas prices will remain steady. Smartphone app Gas Buddy is forecasting gas prices in 2020 will actually be 2 cents lower than last year at $2.60 a gallon. Of course, that won't be true all year. Gas prices tend to rise as refineries switch to summer blends, and that will also happen this year. Gas Buddy predicts prices will be lowest in February and rise to a peak in May. Here in the metro, gas prices range from $2.21 to $2.45. Gas Buddy says the cheapest is at the Flying J and says the most expensive prices are at Northside Service in Moorhead. A University of Minnesota student says she's alive thanks to the help of an Uber driver. Kate Raditz has the story of how that driver helped save her life.
Still have like 4 calls.
Hannah Engie remembers very little of her Uber ride to Fairview Hospital. She's used to having seizures from her epilepsy, but she knew this was different.
And I was like kind of healing over in the Uber, like, oh my goodness, this hurts so bad.
What Hannah didn't know was her Uber driver, named Allison, had taken Hannah's phone to find her emergency contacts. She called Hannah's mom, who lives 300 miles away from where Hannah goes to school, to let her know what was going on.
She was pretty frantic. She just said, I'm an Uber driver. I have your daughter. Her phone, it says she has epilepsy.
But this wasn't an epileptic seizure. Hannah had an infection in her kidneys, and her organs were shutting down. When they pulled into the hospital parking lot, Hannah's heart stopped.
I just blanked. What I was told is I just stopped breathing.
She was rushed into the ER. The driver, Allison, offered to stay with Hannah until family or friends could come.
Allison was saying that I can bring her clothes. I can go to Target. I can sit with her.
After 3 days in the hospital and antibiotics, Hannah would recover. Family, friends were able to be with her. Allison was gone.
She didn't want any credit for it. She didn't want, anything like that. And I'm like, well, honey, you are going to be getting the credit.
Hannah's mom posted to Facebook, sharing about Allison and the kindness of a stranger. It went viral. Hannah took an Uber to our interview. She hopes someday she'll get in the car and she can thank her Good Samaritan in person.
Having someone like that who is more than willing to be almost like a part of my family in that moment and be a true friend, I am so thankful for her.
That was Kate Raditz reporting. If your New Year's resolutions include getting in better financial shape, you're not alone in this mission. Financial resolutions top the list for many. A new survey finds 53% of Americans hope to save more in the new year. 51% hope to pay down debt. 35% hope to spend less. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says good financial goals include paying down debt, like credit cards and student loans, stashing some money away in an emergency fund, and maximizing your retirement account.
Any combination of those three things will make you feel like a more secure person. But all three, wow, that is really starting to enter into financial freedom.
And remember, when setting New Year's resolutions, start small and go after a realistic goal. But if you have a slip, don't beat yourself up. Simply recover from the mistake and get back on track. A North Dakota Girl Scout is helping those with Alzheimer's one fidget blanket at a time. Inspired by her grandfather's struggle with the disease, Sarah Brushwine made 33 blankets with things like strings or buttons that people can fidget with. She gave them to residents of St. Gabriel's Community Home in Bismarck as part of her Gold Award project, which is the highest award achievable in Girl Scouts.
It's something that I've been trying to accomplish, just the award itself, since I was a brownie as a second grader. Being able to finally say I did it is really exciting.
Staff say the blankets help keep residents' hands and minds more active throughout the day. Relative calm has been restored to the area surrounding the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad after 2 days of violent protests that pitted U.S. security forces against Iran-supported protesters. Hillary Lane has more from New York.
Supporters of an Iran-backed militia retreated Wednesday from the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad after leaders said their message had been heard. The pullback ended 2 days of violent clashes at the sprawling compound. After breaching the wall Tuesday, protesters set fires and threw rocks and Molotov cocktails. Security forces held back the crowd, swelling at times into the thousands with tear gas and rubber bullets. The Pentagon deployed hundreds of additional U.S. troops to the region in response. President Trump spoke about the conflict during a New Year's Eve party.
We have some of our greatest warriors there. They got in there very quickly. As soon as we saw there was a potential for problem, they got in, and there was no problem whatsoever.
The violence erupted after an American contractor was killed on an Iraqi base. The U.S. blamed the Iranian-backed Shia militias and targeted several of their bases with airstrikes in Iraq and Syria, killing more than 24 fighters. Tensions between Iran and the U.S. have risen in recent months, with Tehran feeling the full weight of the Trump administration's economic sanctions.
All this escalation by Iran is proof that the sanction strategy is working.
President Trump tweeted that Iran would be held fully responsible for any lives lost or damage at U.S. facilities. Iran's supreme leader responded Wednesday saying you can't do anything. Hillary Lane, CBS News.
The siege had trapped American diplomats in the embassy compound overnight.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
What a night across the valley. What a day as well. We begin the new year with rain, and that made a rainbow. This one visible. Thanks to Bev for uploading this. Wow, that was over the Castleton area today. Those rain showers caused some very icy conditions across the valley in the parking lots here at Valley News Live, and parking lots and streets everywhere. And in fact, just reported from the Highway Patrol in Minnesota, numerous accidents continue just off and outside of town. So it's slippery. Slow down tonight. Take it slow tomorrow. And industrial-sized snowbanks require industrial-sized equipment. The cleanup continues. Mary, thanks for uploading your photo. A few snow showers continue on the very latest radar in Mahnomen County, in Norman County. And as we take a look at the bigger picture, that extends back into south central parts of North Dakota. This whole activity sliding to the south and east as we head into the evening hours. More on the forecast in a second, but right now it is 31 degrees. We've warmed up since the last time we spoke. I have 30-degree reading out at Moorhead's Airport. Very light winds. It's still cloudy, but the snow for Fargo-Moorhead has subsided. It's 25 in Badette, 28 Cavalier, 29 Grand Forks, and Valley City at 34 degrees this hour. Here's a look at your forecast. Now, this band of snow, as we set things into motion overnight, continues to slide to the south and to the east. I paused this in the middle of the night, showing that it is out of our viewing area by the time we get past around the 3 to 4 a.m. hour. This is going to coat those streets with more wet, more white, and more slick. Now, northwest winds also will accompany a shift and a change in our overnight weather. And those might get a little on the breezy side as well, briefly, as that weather system exits the region. Tomorrow morning, we start with a mix of sun and clouds, but most of that moisture should be out of here. And take a look at these. Start your day temperatures 25 to 30 degrees already in your morning on your way back to work and school as we get back into the grind after the holidays wrapping up. Here is a look at your midday forecast. It does not look overly sunny. We'll see dry conditions for most areas. Wind will become more westerly. It won't be too strong. Temperatures with a shot in the afternoon at 30 degrees or better in southeast North Dakota. The surrounding communities in eastern Minnesota and much of our northern valley will have temperatures peaking in the 20s tomorrow. Late in the day, another Alberta clipper begins to slice its way into the region. That'll bring a chance of snow for our western counties late tomorrow night. And for the rest of us, as we go into our Friday, there'll be a chance of a little bit of light snow. All right, let's take a look at that school bus forecast as you get back to school tomorrow morning in Fargo-Moorhead. 24 degrees when you're getting on the bus, still some cloudy skies, then 29 on your way back home from school on your back to school day. Elsewhere, your hometown forecast showing temperatures in the early afternoon will be near 30 degrees southeast North Dakota, a few 20s up in northwest Minnesota. A frosty scene here at the elevator. Matt shared this. Look at the frost crystals there. That makes for a slippery mess as well. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Now, warmer on Thursday, as we talked about, a little cooler Friday with that Alberta clipper working its way through. We'll stay on the cool side as we begin your weekend outlook on Saturday with temperatures in the teens for most areas, 21 Fargo. Sunday warms up, but that comes with growing pains. Another light shot of snow possible. We want to let you know that another Arctic blast is heading our way by the middle of the week. After Monday, we'll see that cold north wind move in, 12 below on Wednesday, then a reprieve, and it looks like more Arctic air for the following weekend, Andrea, as temperatures with that system could be down to 15 to 30 degrees below zero.
Oh boy, enjoy these 30s and 20s.
Yeah, and it's been messy, but I still think it's a little easier than 20 below.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, always, yeah.
You bet.
All right. Later on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. A groundbreaking autism test could diagnose children through their saliva.